Okay, so if you have already downloaded my weekly reset checklist, you know the power of just sitting down once a week to reset your brain, your tasks, and your energy. But the hardest part isn't doing the reset, it's having to recreate the setup every single time. So finding the same checklists, rewriting the same routines, remembering how you like to plan when your brain is all foggy. So this is why I built this brain-friendly planning hub. So I have it in a space called my planner. And when you buy this template, you'll get this whole folder with these 4 lists and a document for planning your quarters. So before I walk you through the 7 steps of the weekly reset and how to use it, I want to just do a quick overview of the entire ClickUp template. This is the brain-friendly planning hub in ClickUp. I just have this folder, and then we have a monthly planner. This is a monthly planner and yearly overview, so you can view it like this vertical way, like a Kanban board. I also have it as a list view, and this is just for long-term planning and like the big picture dates or recurring tasks and like seasonal focus, just so I know what's like happening. So you can assign the due dates here. You can fill out the categories, the type of event it is, and the goal category or goal timeline to help you organize your tasks better. Each of my lists has a form so that you can plan out your event or task, and it has all of these options to fill out so that when you are working on your task, you're just being more intentional, and that's just going to help you become a better planner. The next list is the weekly to-do list. So this is the main task list for the week. This is where you plug in your priorities from your reset. So we start off with the inbox or brain dump, and this is just where you will start adding tasks. So you can click here to add a task. If you already have task here, then you can click here. And this is just going to help you to not have to think about anything else that's in your weekly to-do list, just things that you want to unload. And then we have different views here. So we have a to-do list here. We have the weekly plan for things that are scheduled. We have it separated by your personal task type in these life buckets. I have an energy and context planner, and then the monthly calendar, weekly calendar, and then I also have a quick wins filter for things that takes under 15 minutes. So if you're having like a lazy day or whatever, and you wanted to have a quick win, you can filter it here. Or you can use the energy and context planner and filter it any way you want. So if you are feeling lazy, you want to do a focus level that is a 3 or less. But if you are feeling like you have energy and you can do more, then, you can just change that to greater than, and you'll see all the tasks that require a little bit more focus. Okay, after that, we have the weekly routines. So in this weekly routine, I have a little info here about the household routines, your personal routines, your themed days, your mood-based menus, and your system resets. So these are just going to help you do things without having to think about it every single week. So this is what keeps your life going. So like we have like our morning routine, and I have checklists already filled out for you. You can change it to make it fit your life. But we have a home reset menu. We have a weekly bills and finance routine. And then we have a meal and grocery prep menu. And all of them comes broken down into little tasks that you should be doing every single week to just stay on top of life. And I separated this from the weekly to-do list because I didn't want to clutter up your to-do list. So this just helps you to come back to whenever you need it. They're more like guidelines rather than strict to-dos. So I wanted it to be in its own area. So these are like your weekly routines and systems. And then we have the themed days. So you come in here and you can change these to whatever fits your life. So Mondays are my CEO and planning days. That's when I just plan, update my workflow and systems. Today is Tuesday, which is my content creation day. And this just helps me to focus only on creating content today. So today I'm just going to film or take pictures or record B-roll. So today's all about just creating content. So I like having these themed days because as a business owner, you wear many hats, and having themed days just helps you to separate things. You don't have to do everything at once. You can focus only on creating content today. And that just helps me a lot. So you can come in here and change all of these. And then next we have the mood-based menus. So maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and frozen. This are just some ideas that you can do to get out of that. We also have a soft life menu. So just like exfoliating, taking care of yourself. So the last list I have are the daily habits. And the daily habits also has a form here that you can fill out. And to use these forms, you can just use it here within ClickUp, but you can also copy the link just here, and then you can paste it into your browser and save it as a bookmark to easily log a new habit or to-do list. All of these have their own forms so that you can do that. And it has all of these options for you to fill out so that you can easily filter your habits, whether you want to rotate and focus only on your nutrition and health or your fitness and movement, or maybe you want to focus on habits that are for home and family. This just helps you to organize your habits a lot better. I personally like using the time block routine where I have my habits for the morning, the afternoon, and for the evening. These are just all small daily habits. So I didn't want them assigned to me or assigned a due date because I didn't want it cluttering up my calendar or my to-do list. So what I do here is I just made these check boxes and I come in here manually and check them off as I do them. And then finally, we get the pre-work and planning. So this is just like a quick reflection and monthly breakdown planning for your goals. So now that I covered the complete template, let me just show you guys how I use it with the weekly reset checklist. So every step from the checklist has a home in this template. So let me just show you guys how it works. So the first step when doing your weekly reset is doing a brain dump. And you can easily do that by coming into your weekly to-dos, going to inbox or brain dump. And this is just where you dump everything, every thought, task, reminder. You don't have to worry about tagging or organizing it, just release it. So this is just your mental unloading zone. And then the next step is to do a look back at last week. Here, I like to just check everything that I've done. So I will go to the main to-do list. And if things didn't get done, I can just reschedule it for this week or next week. I can move it, or I can go into my other spaces and assign things to today. This is just where I like plan and review and see what worked, what didn't, and such. The third step of the weekly reset is to do an energy check-in. So this is where you just check to see what kind of week is coming. Are you feeling like high focus, or are you feeling like you just need a gentle reset? Do you have any emotional or physical needs to plan around? Is someone sick or whatever? So as you're doing that, you can go into your energy and context planner and filter it the way that you need. So if you are having a high energy week, you want to have the focus level greater than a 3. But if you are feeling really lazy and just want to survive this week, then find the tasks that require a lot of work from you. And then step 4 is to start setting your priorities. So you can see here that I already have it filtered where my priority is set to high. So it's only showing me my top 3 tasks. You can see it here. And I like to just use this to set my top 3. So these are the top 3 real things that I have to get done this week. Okay, and then step 5 of the weekly reset is your reset systems. So this is where you rotate your routines and your habits. So you can come in here. Maybe you want to change up your morning routine because these 12 steps are just too much for you. So you want to maybe take out making your bed in the morning, or maybe you want to add something to it. So this is just where you're just going to focus on your routines and habits. What I like to do is if I know that I need to do like a grocery prep, I would just select the things that I want to get done this week, and I would just copy all of them and then do my weekly life reset, duplicate here, and then put it into my weekly to-do list. And what that does is just creates like a secondary task that will pop up in my weekly to-do list. So you can see here, it pops up here. There's my weekly review meeting. There's the weekly life reset. And this just helps me to make sure that I am taking care of those routines and habits on a consistent basis, but without overwhelming me. It's like I don't really have to do all those routines. It's nice to have there to help me reset. Okay, and then step 6 is to plan for like your self-care routines, making sure that you are incorporating healthy meals, movement, rest, your hobbies, anything that helps keep my energy level. And then finally, step 7 is just to preview your entire week. So here you can see everything that's going on, and then you can move things as they are in progress. So it can just come in here and change it to in progress, or if I'm waiting on it, or if it's blocked. This right here is actually an automation that I have set. So if the due date is before 7 days or 4 days or so, it will automatically get added to my list. So if it's scheduled for this week, then it will pop up in my to-do list. So let me show you guys what that looks like. So for my personal and home, you go to space settings, automations. And so I have it set for date is 4 days before the due date. Then it will be added to my weekly to-dos list. So I couldn't figure out how to change this to a range. I wonder if I can change it to 1 week before. Sure. But I think it's pretty exact and it's not a whole range. So I'm just going to put 4 days because that seems about like the weekly task. So as it comes up, it will just pop up here to remind me that I need to work on. But yeah, so that's how I use this entire weekly reset checklist to plan my week. I love that I have the due dates. I have the recurring setup so that it doesn't keep creating new tasks and make me feel like a failure for seeing all these tasks that I didn't get done for weeks. I know that if I skip a few weeks, it's going to continue because I have it recurring on schedule and it'll keep coming up and reminding me, oh, you should do a household reset this week, or today is Tuesday, so it's your content creation day. So having it recur this way without creating a new task is just going to help you to keep resetting, keep starting again instead of starting over. Okay, so yeah, if you've already been doing this weekly reset on paper, that's great. Keep doing that. That's the foundation of becoming a better planner. But if you want the entire full plug and play system that I have created for you here, the one that holds all of your resets, all of your tasks, and all of your routines, and everything all in one place, then the Brain-Friendly Planning Hub is your solution. So you don't need to start from scratch every single week. You don't need to build anything because I've built all of these different views and with the custom fields and everything. All you have to do is just open it up and start planning. If you don't have the checklist yet for the weekly reset, you can download it down below for free. And if you do want to upgrade, I'll have the link to this brain-friendly planning template links down below for you as well. If you are not consistent with planning and you want to be, you need a system that works even when you don't. This setup has kept me grounded even on the messiest of weeks. And now it can be yours too. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.